So welcome back. Let me go ahead and apologize. We've got a very noisy rooster over here who thinks he loves to talk over me, and he has the right to do so. So in today's episode, we're going to be discussing how I'm going to attempt to hatch out my first ever chicks underneath a hen. So down here in this nesting box, we have a hen, and it's one that recently had some complications, if y'all seen that episode. She wound up having a blockage on the inside. It almost looked like an old leather egg that she wound up passing, along with some major constipation and other issues. She was sickly, panting, and lethargic for days. Wound up soaking her in an Epsom salt bath and giving her a bunch of nutrients and nourishment, and she's been doing great ever since. So what's so unique about that situation is we had no broody hens before that incident. Now she is very broody. Literally wants to sit on any egg that she can get underneath her. So in this box, she's actually sitting on, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 different eggs. We're going to check that out. And I'm going to show you in this episode how I'm going to mark and keep an eye on them. Because here's the thing. Whenever it comes to the eggs she's sitting on and incubating, well, we don't want to introduce any new eggs from here on out from our other hens. So we need to be able to mark and know which ones are actually being incubated. That way we can come out here daily and remove the new eggs that the other hens are dropping off in there, and we can actually use those for food. It's my understanding from some of y'all that once the incubation process starts with her sitting on eggs, well, you don't want to add any new ones anyways, because, well, in about 21 days when these eggs hatch, she'll only sit on the nest another 24, 48 hours, however long that may be. And if she doesn't see any of the additional eggs hatch, she probably considers those no good and kick them out. So we don't want to be adding eggs, well, days apart from whenever the incubation process started, because they won't be able to make it to full term. So let's open this up, check on Mama Hen in here, see how many eggs she's sitting on. Let me show you how I'm going to mark these and how we're going to keep an eye on them over the next few weeks. This should be a fun process, hatching them out this way instead of using the incubation method inside with the actual manual incubator. All right, so let's take a peek down in here at the Mama Hen. Uh-oh. I didn't realize we have another hen in here also laying an egg with her. She'll be done in just a second. So here's our Mama Hen sitting on a whole bunch of eggs. We'll pull it out here in just a second, check and see how many. We'll wait just a little bit and let this other hen get off the nest, since she seems to be dropping us another egg right here. All right, so I'm going to wait a little bit and let the other hen get off the nest right there so we can get back to the mama. But this is a good time to go ahead and discuss. We have obviously a very small coop here. We're getting ready to build a larger one, but I think this coop's always going to be a nice addition to have for situations just like this. If we want to allow a hen to actually hatch out a clutch of eggs like that, this is going to give her a good safe space to take them in and out of the weather, to warm them up. There's some nesting boxes they can all cuddle up in, and a little run for them to safely get out. And this one has a nice tight wire so they can't actually slip out. So we're definitely going to be building a bigger coop here before long. Now we've got to rush that process up since we've decided to go ahead and hatch eggs. So you may be asking, why am I hatching eggs out underneath a hen instead of doing it in our manual incubator inside? And why are we doing it right now? So it's been my understanding chickens in general are not accepting of new members to the family, so to speak. Like, I can't just go out to the store or bring home new chickens and throw them in here and expect them all to get along. It just doesn't happen. One of the few ways that you can actually introduce new chickens to a flock, and we need to grow our flock, we absolutely do, is by allowing one of their own to hatch out babies this way. And from what I'm being told, these chickens over here, plus the one sitting in the nesting box with us, should be a lot more accepting of these new babies, seeing that it's coming from one of their own, and they kind of get to see and experience the whole process. So that's very important. We definitely want more chickens, and this is a good way to introduce them all together so we can get them in a big single pen over there coming up down the road. The other thing this pen's going to allow me to do is to actually feed the chicks, well, a starter feed, and separate it from the flock that we already have. That way we don't really mess up the egg producing cycle that we already have. So when I get the other chicken coop built, we can put our large chickens over in there, minus the mama that's taking care of her baby chicks. They can stay on a layer type feed, continue to produce eggs, and get the nutrients that they need. And this can be, well, kind of a little nursery over here, and we can give the chicks what they need. All right, I'll see y'all back in just a little bit, and we'll mark the eggs in there, and I'll show you how we're going to keep an eye on those. All right, so let's check on Mama Hen here. She is as sweet as can be, doesn't give me any problems. Let's see how many eggs she's sitting on and kind of do an inventory here. See, she's got so many eggs, some of them are starting to fall out. I don't think she can really sit on anymore. It's good to get her up anyways. That way she can go do a little feeding and drinking. So let's get her out there and do that. Hey girl. All right, let's get you up. So she actually had eggs tucked up underneath her wings. So some people say you can't mark these with something like a Sharpie, but I have seen a lot of people who I trust and have far more experience with chicken eggs than myself actually do this, and they claim there's no problem. So I'm gonna mark a circle all the way around the end, no matter how they're laid in there, I can kind of see. And let me get all these marked up. And again, we wanna do this quickly, but we're doing this so we can tell whenever there's new eggs introduced to this, and daily, we'll just pull those eggs out because she's sitting on about all that she can handle. Now, I'm gonna have to continue to check and make sure this marker doesn't get rubbed off. I can foresee that happening, and that's another reason I wanna use a permanent marker. All right, so if we come in here and take a look, there is our 9 eggs. There's Mama Hen. I tell you what, ever since she's turned broody, she pretty much just looks like she is always sleeping. But she usually comes out about twice a day, feeds, drinks, and relieves herself, and she's a really good mom. She's ready to come right back in here and sit. So I'm probably gonna add a little more straw here just to make sure she's got nice bedding for these eggs as she continues to turn them, and we're gonna place her right back on this nest. Now, obviously, I want to handle these eggs as little as possible, and you want to get them back underneath her for the moisture and for the heat reasons. So let's do this quickly. Pick her back up. Put her back down, top of her eggs. And she'll scoop them up, put them underneath her wings, tuck them underneath her body. She tends to fluff herself up like this. So we'll let her get back situated. And occasionally I like to bring her in a little food and a little water in here since she does not like to get up and get out. So let's do that. One of her favorite snacks, mealworms. All right, so here we are with a little cup of mealworms, one of their favorite snacks. I'll also bring her some regular feed out here. She's usually so devoted and focused on these eggs, though, that she rarely eats. Like I said, she will get herself up a couple of times a day. All right, just want to make a quick little video on this process. We'll see y'all back in a few weeks. Hopefully we have some hatched babies. We've already started on our new coop, and I'll bring y'all along for the entire process.